104.5 The Team, your home for New York sports. Jared Diamond of the Wall Street Journal. Boots on the ground for the World Series, but first, let's get to the question of the hour. The mystery man that is Mickey Callaway, the new manager of the New York Mets. What do you know about him?
Look, he was a great pitching coach with the Indians. He's a big reason why the Indians' rotation, their pitching in general, has been so phenomenal for the last few years. You talk to Indians pitchers, and they really credit Mickey for as a big reason for why that staff came together the way it did. So if you're the Mets and you're a team that's trying to build around this young pitching that for so many years is yet to really coalesce the way they have hoped, maybe this is the guy to do it. Terry Collins was not a pitching-centric manager. Most of the other candidates the Mets were looking at, guys like Kevin Long, these were not pitching-centric managers, and I think the Mets probably saw the success the Rockies had with Bud Black, another former pitching coach turned manager. They had a lot of success with him at the helm with their pitching this year, and I think the Mets are trying to sort of capture some of that with Mickey Callaway.
Jared, is 3 years odd? I mean, I almost always hear 4 years for managers.
Yeah, well, these are the Mets. We don't. I think we all know that they were not going to spend a ton on a manager. There's a reason why they were looking almost exclusively at first-time managers, people that probably don't cost them very much, people that are sort of low risk. The thing about Mickey Callaway is that people don't expect much out of him, which I think the Mets like. If he's a pleasant surprise, that's great. If he's not, he's easy to fire and move on from. And I do think that was why all the candidates they were looking at sort of fit into that mold.
Jared Diamond of the Wall Street Journal with us right now on 104.5 The Team. Let's move over to the World Series. I'm gonna pull back the curtain. I'm a diehard Yankees fan, so this question may sound stupid or it may be relevant. You'll have to let me know. Is the national media at all disappointed this isn't Yankees Dodgers?
Well, I mean, I think Fox certainly is. The people that broadcast this game, certainly the ratings won't be as high without the Yankees in it. Yankees Dodgers would have been a ratings bonanza along the lines of the Cubs last year. It would have been huge. It's not going to be that with the Dodgers and Astros, but I do think it's going to be a great series. And realistically, as fun as the Yankees and Dodgers would have been, the Astros are the more deserving team. They're better than the Yankees all year long. They deserve to be here. They are truly one of the best teams in the major leagues. The Dodgers, I think we could say definitively, are the best team in the major leagues with their 104-win season. So this really is a matchup that deserves to happen, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jared, with the 200-win teams, meeting up in the World Series, it seems like the way it should be, but it doesn't seem like it usually happens that way. No,
this is actually the first time since 1970 two 100-win teams have met in the World Series. But if it's going to happen, this would be the year for it to happen. There were 3 teams this year with 100 wins. It's only the 6th time in the history of baseball that has happened. And there's a reason for that. We are in an era now of the super team. There's more teams that are sort of tanking, following the Astros model, and that has opened up the door for teams to just load up on talent. So there are a few teams, the Dodgers and Astros being 2 prime examples of teams that are just better than everybody else. They're extraordinarily good, and we're going to see teams like that in the World Series, which is great. It is what you want, and it doesn't happen often, but it's nice to have 2 teams that you feel like really deserve to be there playing in a series like this.
Jared Diamond of the Wall Street Journal with us on 104.5 The Team. All right, so what are the some of the storylines you're excited about for this World Series?
Well, certainly Clayton Kershaw. This is finally his opportunity to pitch for a championship. He's been waiting for so long. We've all been waiting, I feel like, for so long to see Kershaw pitch in a World Series. Here it is. And that, to me, is very exciting just because he's so good and he really deserves this opportunity. I'm very curious to see Jose Altuve on this stage, the guy who's probably going to win AL MVP. Can Justin Verlander continue his postseason brilliance? He's another guy that's never won a ring who, many would say probably deserves one before the end of his career. And Carlos Beltran as well, in what could be his final season back in Houston with a chance finally to cement what I think is a Hall of Fame career with a World Series ring. So there's a lot of sort of interesting individual storylines here, players that I'm looking forward to seeing playing in these games.
Jared Diamond with us. All right, so I'm going to get you out of here. I know you're busy. I've been following you on Twitter, at Jared Diamond. What do you see happening? What's your prediction for the World Series?
I hope it's a great series, but I really do like the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers were the best team in the majors all year long. They've been phenomenal now for about the last month after that really bizarre sort of bad stretch they had. They just look so dominant at this moment, especially with the Astros bullpen the way it's been. It just really has not pitched well. That concerns me. So I do think the Dodgers win this series. I hope it's close. I hope it goes 6 or 7 games. Don't know if it's going to happen, but ultimately my money's on the Dodgers.
Do you think that the Astros will, keep Lance McCullers Jr. in the pen with how effective he was against the Yankees?
I don't know if they could afford to do that. I just think after the two main starters they have, Keuchel and Verlander, they don't really have much else. I'm just not sure they could get away with not using him in the rotation. I just think that the bullpen advantage to the Dodgers is probably the number one reason why I think LA is going to win. It's a huge problem for the Astros. Like, their bullpen has to pitch better than it did against the Yankees, and maybe it will. These relievers for the Astros did pitch pretty well during the regular season. They were not this bad all year long. So if they turn it around, they get back to the way they pitched in the regular season, that does change the complexion of the series for sure.
Man, I love it. It's Jared Diamond, Wall Street Journal. I appreciate your help breaking down the World Series. Safe travels, and we look forward to pestering you some more in the future.
Thanks a lot.